Hello. Thank you for joining me today. Welcome to my afternoon coffee. I have some delicious hazelnut here. I'm trying to get into the fall mood, even though it is still above 90 degrees outside. So, I want to share with you guys today what I struggle with the most out of everything else, through parenting, through marriage, through friendships, through business, through everything, what I struggle with the most. So as I say that, I'm sure you start to think, okay, what do I struggle with the most? Okay, what would that be for me, right? So I'm gonna give you a second to think about that, and and then we'll get right into it, okay? That's good. Okay, so what I struggle with the most. Let me first share with you that my dream is that every woman receives the financial education that she deserves so that she can create the life that she always dreamed of for herself and her children. That's a life of abundance, right? So that could be different for different people. But I feel like no matter who you are, no matter where you come from, that dream of the quote unquote perfect life, whatever that means for you, is going from chaos to clarity, from overwhelm to peace, from fear and avoidance and negativity to confidence and positivity, right? So everyone has their different meaning of abundance, and I've shared openly what that means to me. But that is my dream, okay? And I help women elevate their finances through identifying behaviors, seeing how their subconscious thoughts show up in the form of numbers as far as money, right? And we work through mindset and behavioral actions that affect these women's money, and that changes the way their numbers look. And it's fun and exciting, and I love being able to witness that transformation in my client mamas. So a big piece of that is what I want to say is the ripple effect. The fact that we have the control and the power to change one thing, a small thing probably, and that it has the ability to create ripples throughout our lives and change an unimaginable number of other things just from that one action, right? A simple phrase or a simple hello or a smile from the cashier when you're having a bad day can completely change your mindset from the moment you walk out that door and continue on the rest of your day from that checkout line because of that smile from the cashier. And that ripples throughout your day. That affects how you greet your kids when you get home. That affects maybe what you cook for dinner that night, just because that simple change flipped a switch for you and you were able to overcome whatever was putting you in the bad mood because someone just simply smiled at you, okay? So that same concept is completely useful as far as your money, parenting, your relationship, your job, your education. It could apply to anything, right? So that ripple effect is where I feel very strongly, and I have felt for a long time, and I think now I'm so conscious of it because I do all this mindset work and all this personal growth. I'm really in that space right now, which of course I'm the happiest I've ever been. But that's where, with that ripple effect, when I see someone or meet someone or I'm in contact with someone, I see the potential of that ripple effect, of that tiny change, or maybe it's a bunch of little changes. And I see what that potential is right there in that mother or in that child or in that family, depending on what the situation is, right? And I've been able to see that and feel that so deeply my whole life, that gift to be able to see that potential is actually at the heart of my struggles as well. So let me explain why. When you can see someone's potential so strongly and so clearly, it has a way of setting you up for disappointment. So this could be, this has shown itself to me throughout my life so many times. I worked for my father's business for years when I was fresh out of college, and I was able to see the potential. He got me in the office as just an estimator, taught me how to read blueprints, and before you know it, I was managing the entire place and had tripled the entire company. And we were doing millions of dollars of business because I could see the potential, and I was able to just take the steps and put things in action, and he loved it. And there was a breaking point there to where I could see that we hadn't met the potential that I could see yet, even at that point. And something inside of him was holding him back. And I felt held back at that point, and I left. And then at the same time, I can think back to high school. There's a beautiful friend that comes to mind where I remember having conversations telling her, you're gorgeous, you have the poses, you have the look, you're unique, you have this and that, you could be, the top model in the US. And I was disappointed because her life didn't turn out that way. And I'm very conscious of this with my kids and my family, my husband. I can see potential. It's not that I have a specific idea that I want my kid to be like a doctor or this specific profession, but I do want a good life for them. I want them to be happy and successful and fulfilled in their relationship and their families and their career, whatever they choose to do, right? I want them to be satisfied with life. And, I have to realize that by wishing or dreaming or seeing that potential in someone, while that's a gift, that also could really set me up for disappointment, because what I see may not align with who they truly are, or the way that they truly feel, or the way that they will grow and begin to see their own life. That is true to them, that their path that they see that's true to themselves, that is their potential, right? It's not the potential that I see, that I dream of for them. So while I've had this gift my whole life, it has come to me so many times that I can't want for someone more than what they want for themselves. And sometimes that's a really hard truth to face for me, for my husband, for my kids, for my friends, for whoever. Because, like I said, there have been so many moments where I can see what someone could really do with, this idea or this move in some way, how awesome it could be and how it could change all these things. But if they don't want that, and they aren't willing to go forward with that level of effort, it's not going to happen. And so, it's like you can't lead a horse you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. And it's so funny because I remember in high school telling myself that. And it's like, I guess every few months I just have to tell myself that again, because that's where that gift of being able to see the potential so vividly for someone or for something sometimes is the thing that I struggle with, because it sets me up for sadness sometimes, or anxiety or depression, or feelings of loss, right? Because I feel like I could see that potential, but then it didn't happen. So it's almost like I feel like I've lost that beautiful thing because it was so vivid to me. So what I'm practicing now, what I'm working on to work through this, I'm not going to say I'm going to solve this problem for myself, but what I'm working on, and what I think could be helpful if you find yourself in this same way, maybe you do see the potential in people just like I do. Or maybe you're listening to this and something else is coming to mind. But what I'm working through, I've stumbled upon conscious parenting. Okay, and for me, anytime I read something or study something or learn something new, yeah, maybe it's like this. Conscious parenting is about parenting, and it's about how you are present with your children and not expecting any other level of activity other than what's going on right in that moment. But of course, to my mind, this is what was triggered. This is what I was able to kind of meditate on, or whatever you want to say, because I've had this, I'm going to say, like an expectation or a dream for someone multiple times throughout my life. And part of that is when I'm dreaming, or when I'm expecting, or when I'm wishing for that beautiful occurrence for that friend, that is me thinking into the future for them, right? So if I'm thinking into the future, I'm not being present. So I'm not being conscious. I'm not being that conscious parent that I want to be for my kids. And the whole idea about conscious parenting is to be with someone where they are, for who they are, doing what they are, right? And for me to be that present and that conscious, I have to find a way to quiet down that potential that I see, that urge to dream for this person, right? I could dream for myself all day long, and at the bottom of it all, I'm responsible for action, right? But I can't make someone else take action. And sometimes that's a really hard pill to swallow. So I want to share this with you as just a way to just be candid and just say, like, this is something that I struggle with. I hope that you can relate to this. I hope that this makes sense to you. And I hope you enjoyed this, and I look forward to doing these kind of videos for you more often. So thank you for being here with me today, and thank you for sipping your afternoon coffee with me. So meet me again next week, same time, same place. I'll be doing these videos live every Thursday, and we will just be chatting about anything mindset, motherhood, money. Those are all my favorite subjects. So thank you for being here with me today. And if you like this and you want more candid discussions with me, check out my podcast. It's called Reaching Abundance, and it's on iTunes and Google Play and Stitcher and all of the great channels. And if I receive 50 iTunes reviews in 50 days, which the deadline is right near Thanksgiving, so jump in there, listen to a few episodes, give me a review on iTunes. And if I get 50 reviews, I'm going to put everyone who did a review in a drawing for a $50 gift card to Amazon. So very exciting. I love to give away things, and you listening and rating my podcast will actually help me reach other mamas. So, let me know what your thoughts are on this topic and on this video. I am always interested in book recommendations, people recommendations, all of those kind of referral type ideas from mom to mom. I love that stuff. So drop a comment below if you have any ideas or you just want to share how you felt about this and maybe what you struggle with if you're to that point where you're thinking, okay, we're similar maybe. Thank you for being here, and cheers, and catch you next week for another afternoon coffee.